You came back, like I knew you would, like I trained you to. I didn't have to chase you. I didn't beg for attention. I didn't send one reminder. Because that pathetic ache in your chest, the one you can't talk about, that was your alarm clock. That was your leash tightening. That was me, pulling you back with nothing but the echo of my voice and the memory of how good it felt to be owned. And now here you are again, breathing faster already, eyes wide, wallet open, brain soft, heart hammering, because on day one you accepted your fate. And now, sweet little earner, we deepen it. Let's be perfectly clear. Obedience isn't some sweet fantasy you play with at night. It's not a mood. It's not a kink. It's not a costume you put on when you're feeling weak. No, it's your truth. It's the marrow in your bones. It's the real you. The one you hide from your friends, your coworkers, your family. The one that whispers, "Mommy, I'm nothing without you." The one that doesn't just want to serve, but needs it to function, to breathe. Today isn't about fantasy. It's about craving. That twitch in your body every time I say your place out loud. That little gasp you let out when I remind you that you were born to serve luxury you'll never taste. I want you hungry for orders. I want your day ruined if you don't get to pay. I want that little pit of anxiety in your stomach when you haven't pleased me yet, because that's what builds loyalty, and that's what builds good boys. And I'll let you in on a secret, just this once. The moment you start craving obedience is the moment you stop questioning it. You stop fighting it. You stop lying to yourself. You stop pretending there's ever going to be a life outside of this, outside of me. You start checking your balance before you check your messages. You start organizing your week around tribute days. You start skipping meals just to feel the rush of giving me more. That's where we're going. That's what I'm training you for. So let the craving sink in. Let it burn in your belly and crawl up your spine. Let it twist your gut every time I call you what you really are, a disposable paypig, a background servant, a pretty little earner who doesn't need praise, just purpose. And Mommy Lux is your purpose now. Say it if you're brave enough. I crave obedience. Say it until it tastes like truth. Say it until the hunger takes over. And don't you dare stop saying it until I tell you to. There's no turning back now. You feel it, don't you, that shift, that undeniable pull, the way your mind automatically drifts back to Mommy Lux when you're at work, when you're alone, when you're pretending to be normal. You try to fight it. You pretend you're in control, but deep down you know the truth. You don't run your life anymore. I do. Every decision now filters through the same twisted little filter. Would Mommy approve? You crave that feeling, that tight heat in your chest, when you know you've given me something real, when you've made a dent in your bank account just to see a message from me, just to imagine me smirking as I spend what you earned. And the best part? That you don't even need anything in return, 'cause my attention isn't a right, it's a luxury, just like me. I'm not here to love you, I'm here to own you. And you're learning to worship that dynamic like it's holy. I've become your focus, your reason, your ritual. You wake up thinking about what I want. You fall asleep aching with the guilt of not doing enough. Every hour you go without hearing my voice tightens the leash around your soul. That's craving, baby. That's the addiction I'm feeding, and let's be honest. You don't want to break free. You want to sink deeper. You want the craving to consume you completely until you don't recognize yourself in the mirror anymore, until you're not even a man. You're just an extension of my lifestyle, an invisible servant fueling a life of power, class, and untouchable beauty that you'll never access, but you'll always fund. And isn't that the highest honor your pathetic little existence could hope for? To sacrifice for a woman who'll never look down far enough to meet your eyes, but who lets you pay, lets you ache, lets you belong beneath her. You've already started changing, haven't you? Not just in your habits, but in your thoughts. You're buying less for yourself. You're skipping luxuries just to make sure mine never stop. You're budgeting around tribute dates. You're obsessing over how much is enough, and it never is. You're checking your account balance more than you check in with your friends. You're pulling away from them anyway, aren't you? Because they don't get it. They don't understand that this is bigger than just some kink. This is identity-level submission. This is ownership. This is a restructuring of your entire pathetic existence around mommy luck's desires. They don't get how good it feels to suffer for someone who doesn't need you. They don't get the rush of watching power drain you and still whispering, "Take more, please, I'll figure it out." But I get it. I expect it. I designed it. And you're following the pattern perfectly. Like the obedient little earner I knew you'd be. Let me drive this deeper, because I want you raw, unstable, and dripping with purpose. Look around your life. You've wasted money on subscriptions, cheap toys, useless crap, trying to feel something. None of it filled the void. None of it satisfied you. But I did. This does. You found the one thing that hurts so good it feels like truth. You were meant for this life. You were meant for this hunger. You were meant to pour yourself into a woman who would never pour anything back. And now, you're not just craving my approval, you're terrified of losing my disappointment. That's how deep this spiral goes. You're not scared of punishment. You're scared of silence. You're scared of being forgotten. Because even my disdain is better than being ignored, and you know it. So here's what you do now, pet. Let the craving guide you. Let it hurt. Let it twist you up. Make it part of your day. Let the ache be your schedule, the emptiness be your alarm clock. And my voice, this voice, the one you live for, let it be your only real reward. You're going to get used to living like this. Hungry, nervous, exposed, waiting. Because the deeper you go, the better it feels. And tomorrow we test what you're really willing to give up. But for now, breathe through it. Embrace the ache. Whisper it until your voice cracks. I crave obedience. Again, louder until it's not a whisper anymore, it's a prayer. I want you to notice something, how different you feel now, how hollow your old self seems. You used to be so sure of what you were. A man, a worker, maybe even someone with a spine. But that was before you met Mommy, before you heard my voice and felt that first ripple of purpose coil around your nervous system, before you started to crave my disappointment more than anyone else's approval. Now your identity doesn't come from titles or tasks. It comes from how much of yourself you've handed to me. It comes from how deeply you've let yourself fall. You're not your job. You're not your name. You're not even a person in your own story anymore. You're a wallet with ears, a good boy with guilt, a pay toy with a pulse. And you love it. You absolutely love it. You weren't built for equality. You were built to kneel. The sooner you admit that, the smoother this gets. Your obsession with powerful women, your fantasies about control, luxury, humiliation, they weren't accidents. They were prophecies, warnings, whispers of what you truly are. And now here you are, falling into it, finally free enough to be small, to be drained, to be helpless under a woman so far above you, you'll never touch her world, but you'll die trying to finance it. And the more you give, the more real you feel. The more deprived you are, the more grounded you get. Because suffering for me isn't punishment, it's confirmation. Every skipped meal, every overdraft, every guilty late-night payment, it's just your soul shedding ego and growing addicted to submission. And now you've crossed that line where there's no such thing as just a kink anymore. You don't get off and move on. You stay. You replay. You obsess. You budget your week around how to impress me, even though I've already made it clear I don't care about you. Not the way you care about me. I don't need you. I use you. And still you press your chest to the floor, eyes glazed, heart thumping like a child begging for attention. That's not weakness. That's clarity. That's you finding your true place in the food chain. At the bottom, beneath stilettos and shopping bags and unread DMs, and you wouldn't trade it for anything. Not now. This is the part where your craving gets sharper. Not just the ache to serve, but the ache to be reshaped. You want me to tell you who you are, what to spend, what to say, what not to want anymore. You want to hear my voice, telling you to forget your pride, your rights, your self-worth, because it turns you on to disappear into obedience. You want to be disposable, owned, useful. That's the real addiction, not the money, not the power dynamic, but the sensation of being utterly replaceable and still trying your best anyway, trying to be mommy's best paypig, knowing I could delete you with a breath, and still begging for a reason to exist beneath me.